So you're recording, I'm recording. We're going to clap again. 3,
Yes.
2, 1, clap, okay?
Oh, okay. Wait, we can do it again. Sorry, I got too eager. I was too eager.
It's fine. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, clap, okay? 3, 2, 1.
That's a lot.
You know what? It's A-okay. After this day, we deserve to start recording ASAP because, you know, we've been through it. But I'm going to start by saying welcome, 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 Danielle. It has been a minute from wanting to record to trying to get record to going through technological whirlwind. I say anybody who's watching the visuals today, see that I have 2 laptops and mind your business because we're in Mercury retrograde and there has been altercation upon glitch upon something that has made getting here a bit stressful, but it's okay because we got here and that's the main thing. Exactly. How are you today, Danielle?
I'm good. So I've just been doing my hair today, so I'm kind of glad I can show it fresh on camera. I haven't finished it yet.
Amazing. It looks so nice, honestly. It looks so
it's
good.
Tight though. You know those fresh pulled braids though. I started doing the bands first. You know, when I was getting everyone to help me part it and put the elastic bands in to help me do it myself. So now that's all done. But I've just started doing them and then I wrapped it and I'm like, my head is kind of... But I'm kind of enjoying the facelift, but I'm also in that headache kind of space. Which is also why I'm like, let's just breathe.
Honestly, like, especially from where, like, we're not getting our hair done as much because obviously we're in a pandemic, like, we're in a whole lot of pandemic. And I remember the first time that I got my hair done in 2020 was probably like in October, and I loved my hairstyle. It was so good. Like, I was pretty much natural for the whole of 2020. But I got my hair done, and honestly, it was like, I could not move. I literally was like this. But it felt so good because I was like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, my hair looks sleek.
Yes.
Like, pushed back. Like, I'm so excited. I'm actually getting my hair done fairly soon, and I'm hoping to go blonde. So hopefully when this podcast comes out, you'll be seeing me in my blonde.
Oh my god! Yes!
So literally, as soon as I saw you do it, I was like, oh my god, it's a sign.
Literally! Do you know what? Because for me, I know when I need a change. I have to change my hair quite a lot. I'm a Pisces moon. I'm a bit of a shapeshifter, and like I like to change my image quite a lot. I also have a lot of Venus placements, like Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising. So like change in hair and looks. I mean, they say Taurus likes the same thing, but I think maybe the Pisces moon means I need to change my style a lot. So hair is a big one for me.
I think Taurus, one thing that Taurus and Pisces people have like together is that they're very sentimental, but they just show it in different ways. I feel like with the Pisces, with the water, it's very imaginative. It's very like sort of fluid and creative. But with the Taurus, it's more like nurturing. It's more like you want to feed the soil. You want to like sort of provide it with the right nutrients for it to grow. And I think that's they're both sort of linked to the divine feminine, but they're just portrayed in different ways, which I think is really pretty.
Oh, that's deep. I like that a lot, and I really relate to that. Actually, there's been a lot of what you were saying was feeding into things that have been coming to me in my life recently, just different messages, especially about kind of feeding in the soil and stuff. But 100% agree. And with the hair, how it manifests, like, so even in the pandemic for me, and maybe this goes with the Venus thing, but it's still very important for me to feel kind of you have to bring some normality into this time, right? And so I have been making effort when I can, and that's why I also love, because I love a selfie. Like, sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I literally just take a selfie, look at myself, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so beautiful. Like, and I feel good. Like, I just remembering like kind of who I am, kind of thing. And it is kind of in a vain way, but I feel like there's a healthy element of that can be really nourishing, especially for me. Aesthetics is really important for me, like art and things. And so getting a change especially when I feel like a bit bored with my hair, or if I notice I'm not doing my hair and I'm just wearing head wraps all the time, I'm like, okay, it's time for a change. So that's why I got these braids. I was like, I saw some inspiration, Jojo Abbott, and she had the Marley braids, and I was like,
yes.
oh, it's popping, and I was like, oh my god, that's it. I've got my inspiration now. That's all it takes for me, is just to see some style on someone, and I'm like, it just sparks it off. And so like, last year a lot. Yeah, I had quite a few hairstyles actually, and then I had a pause where I was just playing around with my hair, and then I found another inspiration style, and then I just did some braids, which was my favourite style for a really long time. I just did my own hair because it's grown quite a bit, and I just put some beads in.
Yeah, I think I actually
and then just had the back out
with that hairstyle.
Oh,
yeah, because I met you through a workshop we did for Heal and Unite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember Spiritual Baddie.
I would have had a different style then. But go on, yeah.
Spiritual Baddie was one of the co-hosts. Shout out Spiritual Baddie.
Yeah.
For that workshop, and it was to do with West African spirituality and also like healing. It was a beautiful workshop, and I really enjoyed it. And I remembered. Maybe I'm just thinking you had a bead in your head. I'm just getting excited.
I might have had beads though. I do like beads, maybe. I do like accessories, but it wasn't that bead hairstyle. It was probably another one.
Mm-hmm. I want to buy a mannequin head with afro hair so I can practice.
Yeah.
Because I need a new hobby for my hands. Like, I was telling you before this podcast before we started recording, how I'm trying to quit some behaviours. And one of those behaviours are really making me, like, just fidget with my hands. And it's like, I used to knit, right? And I'm like, should I go back to knitting? Should I go to cross-stitching? Like, I just need something where, like, I'm just doing an activity with my hands, because I can always feel myself, like, wanting to do something, you know? It's very strange.
Yeah, it makes sense, though. It's like replacement.
Exactly.
Replacement therapy. Yeah. Ooh. Braiding's a good one. You get tired, though. Just like...
So that's why I'm thinking, if I have a mannequin head, then it will be calm, because I'm the sort of person that, like, I can undo my own hair. I can, like, put the single braid in, but, like, you know, like, feed in cornrows. I find that quite difficult. Like, my hair, like, it's grown now, but my hair's, like, quite coily, 4C, like, it's quite hard to make the distinction to sort of, well, just feed into the braids. Like, I find it difficult. I'm sure if you were a talented, like, hairdresser, like, you've been doing it for, like, a year or so, or, like, even a couple of months, you'd probably find it a lot easier. But I just find it really, I have to, like, blow out my hair before I do it to make it the easiest transition. But it is what it is. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna put it on my list for 2021, find myself some new skills to delve into. But how has your Mercury retrograde been? Because I wanna, we had a bit of a dramatic start, but I want to sort of ease that with reflection, because I think that's what Mercury retrograde is, isn't it? Because it's like kind of communication, so we're just reflecting on some shit and just, well, trying our best, really. Yeah. Well, my first port of call for this Mercury retrograde was I got rid of WhatsApp. I didn't get rid of any other apps, and even some of the apps that I was on, I told people I've deleted WhatsApp, and they were like, "You're on here, but you're not on WhatsApp." Like, what? Because what are you doing here? WhatsApp can be popping off, you know. Honestly, at the start of this pandemic, I swear, every single auntie that I had wanted to let me know about everything. Just everything. There's chain mails, there's have you spoken to this person? Like, it's just non-stop. So when you said WhatsApp, I get it. Like, I fully get it.
Yeah, I was just like, because I was feeling the need of the reflective space, and I was also feeling the need through... Okay, you know, sometimes when you're trying to avoid doing the work, right, you know that it's the reflective period, you know it's kind of a hermit period, but it's also, there are ways to connect, but you're kind of maybe avoiding those ways to connect, or kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but maybe like self-sabotage or whatever.
Yes, like, it's like a distraction, so, it's like an avenue, like, whoop, like, I'll dip
That's the word. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, I notice in myself, for example, that I can get into a a tizzy sometimes, or a habit sometimes of there may be a lot of people that are trying to get in contact with me, and I don't have capacity to answer any of those messages. However, I will put my energy on trying to reach out to and message people that I haven't heard from in a while, or not even that I haven't heard from them in a while, but just like I'm then messaging people and then making a, like, in my head I'm just like, and then I'm wasting my energy on waiting for a response when I could actually just respond to the people, and then I get more messages, and then those people might then respond to me, and then I'm like, now I don't have capacity to respond to your messages now that you've responded to me. And then it just like throws a thing. It just becomes like this kind of like cycle of then, okay, now you've just got a backlog of messages that you have to get back to when you could have, do you know what I mean? Just as a distraction. Honestly, it's like, oh, like I don't actually want to talk, so what is going on here? Like I'm trying to do some, and then it would be like, and I noticed it was also like, okay, all this, you remember I was talking about the projects that I've been finishing now. Yeah. It's all that kind of procrastination that's been floating around that then comes to the surface when you remove that distraction. Because I just felt the energetic ties of WhatsApp, because as soon as I deleted it, I just felt like, honestly, it was like a cord cutting. I just felt very clear, like,
you spoke facts just then. It is honestly like you went into my mind and explained everything, and I'm so happy you said it, because I can actually now, after this episode's recorded, people asking me, Seerah, why are you taking so long? I'm just going to screenshot what you said and just send it out. Because you get stuck in this vicious cycle of, oh, I need to check on this person, I need to check on this person, but then also like, what about the people that already been checking on me? Let me put more effort into them. But then also there's people that I want to start new things with, I want to initiate a new conversation with, so I want to get into contact with them. And it's like you're not selling yourself short, but like you're depleting yourself on different kinds of energy, because then you start criticizing yourself. And like,
exactly,
if that critic wasn't so loud and you could sort of move accordingly, it wouldn't be that deep. But in reality, it's the, oh, why am I giving myself to this person? Oh, but I can't be asked to talk. Oh, I don't have the capacity to do this. And you're beating yourself up on the energy, with the little energy that you have. So, everything that you just said, every time I doubt myself, I want to listen to exactly what you just said.
Yeah, it's such a hard balance as well, because it's like, I think as well, sometimes you're avoiding the people that know you the best, because you know that like, it's kind of a check. Like, so I have this one best friend, for example, and as soon as I deleted it, they reached out, they called, because they texted me and I didn't respond, so then they called me because they know me, and then when they called me they were like, how are you? And I was like, yeah, fine, whatever, how are you? By the way, I hate how are yous, but like I like it if it's genuine. I don't like it by message, which is also why I don't respond to a lot of messages. I hate phatic language, and I want to know why you're messaging me, so I get a bit of a thing. What like, did you say? You know, just get to the point. Phatic language is small talk. It's basically language that is just kind of used to get to a point, establish safety, it's just kind of goes with society, like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how are you doing? But it doesn't really elicit anything genuine from anyone. And I find that when on WhatsApp it's hard to read. If I'm on the phone and someone says, how are you? You can generally sense if they're genuinely checking from a place of care and they want to know, and you can expand on it or not. And also the thing with WhatsApp, I like voice notes, because it gets to a point, I just don't really like typing what I'm feeling. I'm Mercury Aries, so everything's coming really speedily, and just like, I just need to say it, I just need to speak it.
So, no, you're completely right. I literally I just want to let you know that I'm a Mercury Aries, I'm a Sun Aries, and I'm a Saturn Aries.
Oh my God!
I was looking through my birth chart the other day. I've got 14 fire placements in my birth chart, right? 14 fire placements in my birth chart. I'm literally like, everything that you're saying is just true. Like, it's true. I feel it on a deep soul level, because like me with my Leo moon, Aries rising, Pisces cusp, like I've got this momentum and this passion that's just so, it's like energetic but also like irritable, and like there's a very very fine line between how that energy is going to be portrayed. If you know me and know my integrity and know my heart, it's not deep to you. You'll just be like, oh, Sarah's just doing Seerah, like whatever. But if you're like sensitive in a way that my behaviour shocks you, you're gonna think I'm so fucking rude, just because it's that like momentum and that like I have passion, but when my passion is restricted, I feel claustrophobic and I feel like too many people are taking things from me, and I'm just like, go away.
Oh, I felt that. Yeah. I feel like that's going to lead into a lot of deep stuff for today's session as well, because there is something there about kind of... the thing I felt in that and really resonated with is that thing about the integrity of you being yourself unapologetically in a way that is like being really in alignment. It takes a lot of work actually that people people take for granted, because we're often trying to fit into the conditioning. Again, so even with the Mercury retrograde, me just saying, actually, I really don't like emphatic language at this point. I don't have capacity. And it might have come across blunt, but for me, it was like, if you are going to contact me during this period, I don't have capacity for a lot. So you're probably not going to hear from me if it's emphatic language, if it's not directly related to what you really want to know. And that's not to say that how are yous are always emphatic. Sometimes how are yous are like, I'm just checking in. What's going on with you at the moment? I prefer creative how are yous. I like when people say like, how is your heart? What's going on? I might say like, what's going on energetically for you right now? I also say how are you? And
I love it. I love creative how are yous. Oh my goodness, Danielle. Oh.
But it's just being not getting too monotonous, you know, like give me something new that's kind of like out of my comfort zone. I really appreciate that care, and I think a lot of people know me, they know I don't like how are yous, they say it anyway, but I know that when they're saying it, it's because they really mean it and they're really asking, they want to know how I'm doing. But sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can just say like, yeah, I'm fine, even though there's more, obviously, like who's ever just fine? Like fine is such a basic, like, I don't want to say beige statement, but it's such a nothing statement. What does it mean to be fine? What does it mean to actually be fine? What is fine? Fine, when I think of fine tuning, or I don't know. If I was to Google it, I don't know what would come up, but like, okay, I'm okay. It's the same as saying I'm okay. It doesn't really mean anything. There's so many layers to like what it means for someone to be doing fine, and what is behind that. Like, do you know what I mean? How's your heart doing right now? What temperature are you? Is it a temperature that you enjoy being, or do you want to get warmer or colder? Like, you know?
You know what? I am so going to... You've inspired me to be more creative with my how are yous. I really, really, really like what you said. Honestly, this has been such a gorgeous DMC, and I feel like we should end it with a little oracle card. So I've got this deck. It's by Kelechi Okafor. It's called The Spiritual Seasoning of the Soul.
Yes!
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Big
deck.
up Kelechi.
Mate, I honestly think I'm probably her biggest fan. Like, I love her. Like, she's amazing.
My top listened to podcast of 2020 was Say Your Mind.
Hey, same. Honestly, she's amazing. Like, I'm honestly like her biggest fan. She's great. So I'm gonna shuffle this deck, and you just tell me when to stop, and then we'll pull out a little oracle card for the reading to end we'll put out an oracle card to end the DMC.
Okay. Okay.
So did you say okay as in like...
Yeah, go, yeah.
Amazing. So we got number 6. And number 6. Oh wait, does this is number 6 or number 9? Let me just double check. No, it's number 9. It says, this is the sign you asked for. You asked for a sign, you get a sign, you get scared, you ignore the sign. Stop playing, this is the sign, get on with it. I feel like I know what this means. You spoke about Mercury Aries. That incited a conversation within us. But what really stuck out to me was this sort of resurgence, or this comfort of identity. It's like, I'm aware of how I like to be spoken to, so I'm going to feed myself first and allow my sort of, just be reflective on what capacity I allow that in. So will I engage with you today? Will I not? Will I call you? Like, do you know what I mean? There's different ways of going about it, but this is a sign that you are sort of gives me confirmation that we're sort of taking ownership of our identity, of ourself, of our sort of the way we sort of want to move in the world, because we're sort of limited by external invalidations of being blunt or being rude or being too fiery or being too aggressive. And I think the sign is it's like you know yourself better than anyone does, so do it anyway. Well, that's what I'm kind of getting. What are you getting?
Ooh! That's it, because that's literally what we were saying, and I don't know if I expanded on that, but it's that, like, there's so much conditioning in this world about cultural norms, about how to be, and some of those norms, and this is for everyone, regardless of your status, your class, your culture, your race, like, everyone is conditioned in some way, and it's, for some people, that fits naturally to their personality.
Oh my god.
Some people become more oppressed by it than others, right? It's like when you think about school and the fact that, like, now we're starting to talk more about neurodivergence and neurotypicality and all those things, but, like, you know, how many left-handed people just had to tolerate in school that the world is a right-handed place? Like, they just literally had to, there was no protest or anything. Okay, eventually they started to get some left-handed scissors, but that's just one iceberg of, like, how much neurodivergence there is. I mean, okay, maybe that's not a neurodivergence, but
no, but I get
how
it.
much
It's
divergence
like,
there is that, like,
it's like when people started getting, like, when people thought that plasters for black skin or dark skin was like, no, well, plasters for nude skin was the norm, it was the baseline, but no, that isn't.
Literally. And if you think about all of these very practical things that exist, and then on top of that, it's our actual ways of relating and being that we're told, you know, in whatever conditioned way, that that's not okay. And it's a lot of work, and a lot of work that people do. And when you come to therapy, for example, a lot of it is about finding that core acceptance of the self, of, like, what does it actually mean to be me, free of external validation, free of what I feel like I should be doing and feel like I should be saying. What do I actually want for myself? And that's a big part of my work, is, like, actually, it's work for myself, and it's work for people that decide that they resonate with what I'm doing and what I'm about. But it's literally about kind of, like, reconnecting to your inner compass, your inner GPS, because that's where it at. That's what's going to guide you to wellness. That's what's going to, your body tells you information and truth all the time. It's like the way that you pick that card and you were like, I know exactly what that's about. I know exactly how that relates to me. Someone can tell you, because you can go to all these different guides and astrologers and tarot readers and all these things. And yes, they have access, if you believe in spirituality and the knowledge of other realms. There are some, okay, in my belief system, there are entities that know more than me, 100%. There is a hierarchy. There's a vision that I have as perspective as a human being and a being in a human vessel that limits my perception, right? However, in connection with those beings and those entities, when I allow that in, whether that be God, whether that be my higher self, whatever that is, then being in alignment with that is what I believe keeps you on course. Because there's always going to be different options and things, and people can tell you this. So you could go to an astrologer and they can say, this is how you operate, this is what's natural for you. And you can be like, actually, I don't accept that. That's a toolkit. Like, but actually, I don't accept that. That's not the core of me, what I want to do. So I'm going to navigate what feels right to do, you know? Same way I could go to a diviner and they can say, like, they also say different paths lead to this outcome. So you might go and they might say, if you do this, you're going to meet this person. And you could be like, okay, cool. Or you could do something completely different that changes that outcome, you know? There's only kind of a few given outcomes in life that are definite. And I think one of them is basically change. One of them is death. Like, those are the only, you know, there's not that many things that are finite in this existence, you know, that are definite in this existence.
Wow.
Anything can change at any given moment.
Speak on it. Amazing. Honestly, facts upon facts upon facts. This has been such a great DMC. Honestly, I've absolutely loved it. Like, no, this has been sick. I cannot wait to get into the episode. Like, this is gonna be sick. So, oh my god, no, it's amazing. Everyone has to listen to this episode. Like, everybody has to listen to next week. So, I want to say goodbye. I want to send you guys love, and yeah, we'll see you next week in the next week's episode. Bye.